Hello guys, this is Vidas,
And Osha.
and let's start episode 17 of Ask Vidas and Osha podcast. And today's question will be about the Jig Fugue by Johann Sebastian Bach, BWV number 577. And this question was posted by Robert. He wrote, "What should the tempo be?" I'm just having a look at it. Often on YouTube they raise pieces to impress, perhaps. And the another part of the question was like this: as I want to study your fingering and pedaling, I'm able to sight read it easily, but I'm jerking the tempo too much. In this piece, I also recommended to study by first right hand, then the left hand, then pedals, and then right hand and pedals, then left hand and pedals, those two voice combinations, right? So I read that you wrote about studying it years before, but I don't quite follow your 10 steps procedure regarding the numbering, like 10x just one beat. Am I correct? Anyway, using the former method that I use quite a bit, I hope to smoothen it out. One definitely feels the jig motion. Till next time. So that was a long thought by Robert. Um, have you played this piece before, Osha?
No, I haven't played this jig, but actually I have played many jigs
Mm-hmm.
on
So,
the side. So.
so it looks to me that Robert is wondering about the tempo first, right? Let's discuss the tempo issue. Should let's pretend another jig like C major toccata adagio and fugue by Bach, BWV number 564.
Yes. Yes.
And the jig is also in the fugue motion. And a lot of people too play it very fast. Do you think this type of dance movement should be played too fast or moderately fast?
Well, I think that jig in general should be fast, but I mean, even while playing fast, you must control everything.
Mm-hmm.
And you must listen to what you are playing. You must hear what you are playing.
Right. Because it depends on the acoustics of the room you are in, on the size of the instrument also. Right. The larger the room, the larger the instrument, the slower actually you should play, the more articulation you should use. Correct?
Correct. Jig is, of course, a fast dance, but it's not an etude, so you cannot play it just as an exercise, as fast as you can.
Mm-hmm. What do you think about the practice procedure? One voice at a time, then two voices combinations, then finally three voices, and then four voice final result. Would that be helpful?
Yes, I think it's very helpful. Even, especially for the beginners,
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not so much for advanced organists, but even, if you are an advanced organist, I think it's good to follow these steps.
In general, I advise people do like this. First, I treat this fugue, right? And if they play it in a moderate tempo and make tons of mistakes, then it means you have to go back and do the practice step-by-step procedure, right?
I think that's a good advice.
Mm-hmm. If not, if they are really excellent sight readers, then why not you could play entire piece, right, in four parts right away, and then work up until tempo and be a little more precise if you want with fingering, pedaling. But it's the next level probably, right?
Yes, of course.
Mm-hmm. Not too many people I know can do this. So of course, if you want to achieve this level, you have to sight read every day. You have to sight read at least one new piece a day, probably, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And then, uh, what do you think, Osha? After they master, for example, all those solo parts, then two voice combinations, then then 3-part combinations, then finally entire 4-part texture, let's say very slowly, right? How to
Yes.
speed up the tempo, because the tempo still has to be final result fast. What's your advice on this?
I think it will come to you while practicing, you just will notice that you're playing faster and faster each time.
Mm-hmm.
When you will master the general text.
Memorize, perhaps, right?
Well, yes, but yes, when you are playing in a really fast tempo, it's definitely, easier to play from the memory.
Mm-hmm. Memorize and, of course, pay attention to how the piece is put together, right? Count the number of subject appearances, and make sure you know what key this theme is, right? What voice. You have to know the plan of the Fugue.
And in dance like jig, it's very important to keep the steady tempo and to emphasize the strong beat.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Exactly. Making the downbeat longer and the upbeat shorter, right?
Sure.
Mm-hmm. What about speeding up the tempo when you can play entire piece slowly, right? With those combinations, then how about this way? Stopping at every beat, then at every 2 beats, at every measure, at every 2 measures, basically doubling the fragments, but playing all the voices now. And between the stopping, you have to play really fast.
Well, I don't practice this way myself, so I cannot tell you.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it works for some people.
Mm-hmm.
I have tried it actually myself. It's more your way, not mine.
Yeah. I sometimes like to do this, especially when the piece is really tricky. Not necessarily the fugue, but might be a piece like right now I'm studying the piece called Ride in a High-Speed Train by Advames, the contemporary Dutch composer, and it has a lot of complicated rhythms and syncopations and minimalistic texture, which is very, very repetitive. And when I sight read it, it's very, very hard and slow at first. So now I'm speeding up by doubling the fragments.
Good for you.
Okay. I hope, guys, this was useful for you. And please send your questions to us. We'll be very glad to help you out. Right, Osha?
Yes.
Okay, this was Vidas.
And Osha,
And remember, when you practice,
miracles happen.